So I'm going to start by rolling our shoulders. So deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Big circles. So nice big circles the whole way around. Now I'm going to change direction to the opposite way. Four, three, two, and one. Okay, hands on hips, feet by shoulder apart. I'm going to roll the hips, get to the front, change direction, bring it back. Nice big circles. Make sure we're moving the whole way through the hips and all the way back around. Three, two, and one. Back to center, drop the head. The little circle the whole way around. You get to the front, change direction, bring it back. Moving the whole way through that neck. Go one more each direction. Okay, we get those two done. We are going to bring the feet back together, bend the knees slightly, hands on knees. I'm going to come around and back. Again, we want to keep that back straight so we don't want to bend over, we're slightly down. Keep our shoulders pinched together. Quick circle around and back. I'm going to go one more direction. And back up. Okay, last one, out onto the toe. And roll the shoulder, roll the toe, roll the ankle around and back. So big circle with the ankle and back around. One more each direction, and we're going to swap to the opposite side. And we're going to go one more each direction. Okay, from there, let's put our bad foot in front of us. So if you are left-handed, you're going to put your right foot in front of you. And if you're right-handed, you're going to put your left foot in front of you. Okay, so we're going to stand here for a second, get your balance. We're going to do a bit of balance work. Hands by your side, or if you want, if you need to bring them out to balance yourself, you can. And what we're going to do is we're going to look out, cross one shoulder, bring back to center, out again, same direction, back to center, and across again, back to center, and once more, and back to center. Now we're going to go to the opposite way, and bring it back, over, back to center, out again, back to center, and across that shoulder again, back to center. Right, as you can see I'm a bit wobbly, that's okay if you're wobbling too. No, I said I can't stop. Okay, we are going to stay in that position. This time we're going to look up, eyes to the ceiling, back to center, eyes to the ceiling, back to center, and up. And once more up. We're going to look down, back to center, down, back to center, back to center, and once more down. Okay, this time we're going to go diagonally up, so we're looking up and across. So out, back, and again, back to center, once more, and back. We're going to go out to the opposite side now. And back to center, back to center. You might find some directions are harder than others. It's alright. And once more, out, back to center. Now we're going to look down diagonally. Down, and back, down, back, down, back to center, once more down, and back to center. And we're going to go to the opposite side diagonally. Down, back to center, down, back to center, down, and I need to fell over. Back to center, once more down, and back up. Okay, starting there. If you want, if you need to stand, shake the legs out, you can. Then we're going to come back to that position, and we're going to go one round each one. So we're going to go one side, up, down, out to side, down, out to side, down. I'm going to do that 4 times the whole way around, okay? So out over one shoulder, bring it back, out over the shoulder, bring it back, up, back, center, down, back to center, out diagonal one side, down diagonally the other side, up diagonally on the opposite side, and down diagonally on the other side. And bring it back to center. And if you're a little bit unbalanced, take a little second here, get your balance back. I'm wobbling a bit, as you can see. Don't worry, it's normal. So we're going to go again. Out to one side, back to center, out to the other side, back to center, up, center, down, center, out to one side, down to the other side, up to the other side, down to the other side. Okay, and get your balance. We're going to go again. Out to one side, back to the other side, up, down, cross out one side, diagonally down the other side. We're going to go diagonally up the opposite way, and diagonally down the opposite way. And back to center. Wait for a second if you need to get your balance back. Getting harder. It's the last one of these. We're going to go one side, center, other side, center, up, center, down, center, out to one side, down to the other, up to the opposite, and back down to the other, and ending in the center. So 3, 2, 1, step back. Okay, you need to shake out your legs too. I feel like my left leg, which is my good leg, is a little bit tight after that. Trying to balance, it was a bit tough. Now we're going to bring our feet into wider than shoulder width apart. And what we're going to do is we're going to slowly come side to side while going down into a squat. So slowly down, keeping our back straight the whole time as we get down. We're just going to go as low as we can. We don't want to be going like this and staying same height hip wise. We want to keep our back straight and just stay where we are. So don't worry if you're not going any further. Just go as far as your hips allow you. Some people will have more open hips than others. Do not worry. From there, we're going to pause wherever you can. Shoulders back, put your elbows in between your knees, so into a little kind of yoga squat. And you're going to push those knees apart shoulders back and down. Again, if you're higher than I am right now, that's okay. The idea is we want to keep our back straight while we're doing this. I feel a little stretch, those inner thighs. Three, two, one. If you can now, from there, bring your hands straight to the mat. I'm going to go onto the long end of the mat. And we're going to make sure we're resting on the inside of our thighs, and we're going to rock back and forward here to open the inside of our hips. We want a straight line from our knee to our ankle, so this should be going in a straight line behind you. I'm just going to show you this side here. You should be leaning not on the knee, but on the actual muscle at the outside of your knee. I'm just going to rock back and forward. If you're on your knee, it'll hurt. If you're on the muscle, you should be okay. See, if I was on my kneecap here, I wouldn't be able to do this because I'm actually on the tile floor or the wooden floor. But because I'm on the muscle, I can go on the floor. So slight rock back, slight rock forward, open up those hips. Then we're just going as far back as we can and as far forward as we can, whatever your hips allow you. Four, three, two, and one last one. Okay, gonna walk the knees back in and bring yourself into a box position from here. So if you need to change on your mat, you can. So we should be down the long end of the mat. What you're gonna do is gonna roll the shoulders back and roll them forward. Get as much movement here as you can. Very important if we're sitting at desks all week. Shoulders don't really tend to get much movement. So we want to get that as much as we can. Go around and back. Four, three, two, and one. Okay, from there, I want you to pull your core in, make sure you're really strong and tight here. Also, we're going to squeeze those glutes. I'm going to lift one leg out and one hand out. Bring them back to the mat. Exhale back out. The aim here is to bring it out in a straight line, so we're not rotating. Push out and back in. Out. And back in. By engaging our core before we do this, we're giving ourselves a stable base. If you're finding it very hard to balance, keep your hand down and just do the leg out. Three, two, and one last one, and in. Okay, we're going to swap to the opposite side again. Make sure your core is nice and tight. Squeeze the glutes as well. They will help you keep stable. And then we're going to reach out and back in. Exhale as you lift out. Inhale as you come back. You should feel this in your glute as you reach out, by the way. So if they're engaged, you will. Four, three, two, and one. Bring it back. We're going to come onto our side from here. So lying on your side. Bend the knees. Ankles are stacked in front of, on top of each other. Knees are stacked on top of each other. You can rest your head on your bottom arm. And from there, we're going to exhale and lift up as much as you can. But what we want to make sure again is we pull our core in. So we're supporting ourselves here. And we're just going up as much as allows us before we start to rotate back. So if you're coming up here but you're rotating back, don't go as high. We want to stay just up as high as we can without rotating. And inhale, lower. Make sure again, core is engaged. So pulling that belly button in. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Breathe through each one. Exhale up. Inhale, lower. Feel those glute muscles work as they lift up and lower. The smaller glute muscles be working, the little ones are here. 4, 3, 2, and one last one. And then, okay, we're going to go on to front here. So from here, I want you to bring your hands out in front of you, if it's comfortable. If not, keep them by your side. So what we're going to do is you're going to lift opposite hand up and opposite leg. So up, alternating each side. Again, we're keeping our core nice and tight here, and we're going to focus as we lift the leg on using that glute muscle to bring it up. Try not to use your lower back to lift. We want to focus on the glute lifting. What can happen is our glutes switch off, and then your lower back tends to take a lot of the load, which results in sore lower backs. So if you suffer from lower back pain, sometimes strengthening that glute, getting that glute working, can help it. We're going to do 2 more each side. 1, 2, and 2. Okay. We're going to come over onto that opposite side now. So, knees bent, supporting that head. And exhale again, lift up as high as you can. Slowly lower. We are keeping that core nicely pulled in. So we're not rotating. We really don't want to rock back at all. We want to use that muscle just to come up as high as you can. You might find one side's harder than the other, one is weaker than the other. That's normal. For me, it's this side. I find it harder to get it working. And we exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. That's it. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Maybe 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Back down. Okay, we're going to flip over and sit up. So legs out in front of us. We're going to roll our shoulders back and down. Bring our hands out in front of us. So first thing we want to do is sit up tall, pull our core in, roll the shoulders back and down. Arms out in front, and then we're going to pull our shoulder blades together and back. So we're not pulling our arms back, we're actually pulling the elbows, squeezing your shoulder blades together. So as you do this, your shoulders come back and forward. Back and forward. If these muscles aren't used to working, it can be a little bit harder to get them going. But make sure you breathe through each one. And we want to make sure as well that you're not going back like this. So you're up tall, core is tight. The movement is just through the shoulder blades. Exhale back, inhale forward. You feel like your shoulder blades are starting to come up and you're starting to compensate a bit, roll them back and down again. Go again. Squeeze back. Breathe through each one. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Feel your shoulder blades move. You're supposed to do this. Four, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to bring the hands up overhead. If you have any problems with doing stuff, like if you find issues with moving your hands above your head, do continue doing this rowing movement. It'll be better for you. Otherwise, we're going to bring the hands up, and this time we're going to lift our elbows up and pull them back down. So, lift our shoulder blades up and pull them back down. So we're pushing them down to our back pockets and lift up. Push them back to back pockets and lift up. Okay, we're not bending our arms and pulling our arms down, it's literally just moving through the shoulder blades. Feel them move up and down. As I said, if there's any shoulder issues, do keep it at the row first instead. You might find you're going to tire quicker at this one. That's normal. Make sure you breathe both. 4, 3, 2, and 1. There you go. Shake it out. In that position from there, stay where you are. We're going to bring one arm across the body, hooking the arm with the opposite arm. So either side of the elbows on. We want to make sure we're not on the elbow. We're just going to pull in. So it'll be a light stretch. Just going to hold there. If you find it start to ease out, you can move your hand a little bit further down the arm. But again, just make sure we're not on that elbow. Let it go, shake it out. We're going to bring it to the opposite side. Again, we're not on the elbow, we're either side of the elbow. If you feel comfortable, do so. Move it a little bit further. And let it go, shake it out. Okay. Keeping those legs where they are, we're going to bring one foot up, putting it in towards, or putting the sole of the foot into the inner thigh. Again, we're going to take a nice inhale to lift ourselves up. And we're going to exhale and just stretch down the leg as far as we can. We want to keep that toe pointed towards the ceiling. And we're aiming to stretch out our hamstring here. If you can reach your foot, great. If you can't, don't worry. I'm just going to focus on slowly getting a bit closer to that. We want to keep the toe pointing towards the ceiling, try and get a bit of a stretch of the calf muscle as well. As you breathe, you can see if you can move a little bit further down. If you can't, don't worry. Again, as well, if you're feeling an intense stretch or to get to your foot, you're popping your knee up, just go further up the leg. You can be at your calf or your shin. You can get a nice, comfortable stretch by reaching your ankle too. And as we breathe, as you loosen out, if you can go a little bit further, you can. But you don't have to. And bring it back up. And swap to the opposite side. So again, bring that foot up to the inner thigh. Nice tall. I'm going to exhale. And just come down as far as you can, keeping that toe pointed towards the ceiling. Again, with this, you might find one side is tighter than the other. That's all right and completely normal. Again, breathe. The whole time as you exhale, can you go a little bit further? If not, just stay where you are. Make sure it's a nice stretch. You don't want it to be uncomfortable. Again, we don't want our knee popping up. And we're going to come back up. So extend those legs out again. We're going to do a little twisty before we start moving towards the end of it. We're going to bring the first leg you had in. We're going to bring that up. Bring the ankle outside the opposite leg. And then from there, you can either, you're going to sit up, you can either hook yourself, or if you can get yourself a little bit further, you can bring your elbow around and you're just going to twist and look over the back shoulder. I know I described that terribly because I find that one really hard to describe sometimes. It's a really nice little twist through the spine as well. If you can, go a little bit further. If not, just stay where you are. Just keep breathing. And let it go. Come back around. We're going to swap to the opposite side, so we bring that foot out and around outside the opposite leg. Again, you can either hug with your arm. So first we sit up tall, sorry. You can either hug with your arm, or if you can, you're going to get that elbow outside, walk the hand back, exhale and twist around. Looking over that back shoulder if you're comfortable. Again, if you can, go a little bit further. If not, just stay where you are. And exhale, bring it the whole way around. Okay, we're going to pop over onto our knees. We're one knee forward, one knee back. Again, we're going to engage that glute from behind so we can really open up that hip flexor and squeeze forward. Push back off that front foot and come back. Just open up that hip nicely. And then step back off it. Now, if you want, you can continue doing this. If you feel comfortable trying, you can bring the quad into the stretch by catching the back foot. Now it's going to take balance, so we don't want to be doing this and going like that. So up tall, catch the back foot. Again, keep your glutes nice and tight for stabilization. Keep your core tight. Pick a point in the wall in front of you. Be very careful if you are going for this option, because you can get your hamstring to cramp if you go too quickly. If you're not doing this option, just stay as you were going, moving forward and back through the stretch. If you're in this one, we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. I'm going to swap it over opposite side. So again, make sure we're up tall. Squeeze that glute from behind. I'm going to push forward, bring that knee over that toe, and back. And we're slowly opening up that hip. Squeeze through and step back off. Okay, if you want to bring the quad into it, you can. So try and grab that back foot nice and slowly. Again, keep it upright. If you want to keep it as you were going, just still continue to squeeze forward and slowly back off that front foot. It's up to yourself which you go for. So we're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. I'm going to stand up. From there, we're going to interlock fingers, set our shoulders back and down, and just lift up as high as we can. Open up the front of our chest, front of our shoulder. And as we exhale, if you can push a little higher, do. If not, just stay where you are. Just open it up. We're going to swap it over. Interlock fingers, push out, push shoulder as far apart as we can. Again, pushing that right apart, opening up that back now. From there, we're going to lift up, push up towards the ceiling. It is comfortable. Struggle this, go back to the shoulder stretch that we did earlier. And lean out to one side. I find this a nice one for the side of the body. And bring it back to center. Lean out to the opposite side. Bring it back to center. Let it go. And you're done. Well done, guys. That was